everyone, so I've just finished filming my morning skincare routine and that should have been up on my channel now already. If you haven't already seen it then I will link it somewhere over here for you. But now it's time to talk about my evening routine and all the products that I use to take my makeup off, cleanse my skin after a long day and then go to bed wearing. So as I said in my previous video, I do have sort of combination oily to dry skin. Sometimes it's a bit dry and sort of patchy around my chin and my forehead, but then I get a bit of greasiness on the T-zone and in the centre of my face, so it's kind of a bit of both. So I do wear makeup on pretty much a daily basis, so I like to make sure it's all off before I go on to properly cleansing my skin. So I actually use two products for the job, and the first one is the Clinique Take the Day Off Balm, and this is a really solid balm texture, but then it almost melts into a kind of oil once you massage it into your skin, and it just breaks down all your makeup, so foundation, mascara, lipstick, and it just kind of swirls into this one big mess on your face, and then you can either splash it off, or I like to take it off with a cloth or something just to make sure it's all gone. I also like this one too because it's very kind of moisturising. It takes everything away but it doesn't leave you feeling kind of tight and stripped on your skin. So after that I'll pretty much just have the remnants of my mascara left over on my eyelashes, and I take it off with the Garnier Micellar water, or any micellar water really. This is the one I've been using at the moment and I really like it. I think it's pretty much the same as Bioderma. It does the job just as well. Sometimes I'll just take my makeup off with this. If I'm wearing a tinted moisturiser or I haven't really got much of a base on, I'll skip the Clinique balm step and just take everything off with this. So after that I will use my proper cleanser, and I did mention in my last favourites video that I've gone back to my good old faithful Emma Hardie Amazing Face Moringa Cleansing Balm, and this stuff, it comes with a hype for a reason. It's just so nourishing and so moisturising for your skin, and yet it takes away everything. It really cleanses it deep down, and I just massage that all over my skin and then take it off with a muslin cloth again. And every so often I do also like to use it with my Clarisonic, and this I've had for such a long time and I go through phases of using it every day. Sometimes these just a week, once a week, and then sometimes I kind of forget about it a little bit, but I do find that using this maybe twice a week at most just adds in that little bit of extra exfoliation for me, because I don't really like to use manual scrubs, the really kind of harsh scrubby beads, because I find they're a little bit irritating to my skin. So using this just every so often just helps to keep things, you know, nice and radiant and exfoliated. I do also like to incorporate exfoliating toners into my routine, and this is one of my favourites. This is the Clarins Gentle Exfoliating Brightening Toner, and I find with these toners that are made up of either kind of fruit enzymes or glycolic that help to slough away the dead skin, they can be a little bit, again, irritating and make my skin a bit sore, but this one actually has glycerin in it too, so it comes out almost like a quite thick lotion, and then you just sweep it across your skin with a cotton wool pad, and I find it's a lot more nourishing than some of the others I've tried. So things like the Pixie Glow Tonic, which I do really like and I think it gives amazing effects, it's just a bit too much for my skin because it isn't balanced out with the added kind of moisturisation like this one is. It just makes my skin a bit irritated. So that one, the Clarins, is one of my favourites. I do sometimes also like to spray another toner over the top, a more hydrating one, just again to kind of balance out the effects of the exfoliating ones, and this is the Elemental Herbology Flower Harmonizing Mist, and it's a really lovely light mist. It's actually made up of rose water, so it's very refreshing, very light, and it just makes your skin feel like it's a bit more nourished. The two serums that I talked about in my morning routine, which are Peptobright and Hyaluron, which are both from Indeed Labs, I do absolutely love them and I really did rave about them in that video, but I tend to reserve those more for the mornings because there is something else that is just fantastic that I always have to use in the evening, and it's the Estée Lauder Advanced Night Repair. This is the Synchronized Recovery Complex 2, which is their newer edition, and there are just no words to explain how amazing this is. I think if Peptobright and Hyaluron had a baby, it would come out like this, because it has all the benefits of the brightening and the pigment reducing, scar fading like the Peptobright does, but it's also made up of hyaluronic acid, so similar to Hyaluron, just helps to really plump out the skin, keep it very nourished, and it helps your moisturiser really work in quite well. I would literally describe this as sleep in a bottle. Whenever I put this on, I wake up in the morning and my skin just looks like it's revived and rejuvenated. It's just an incredible product, definitely one I recommend investing in. The eye cream that I've been using at the moment is the Pi Echium and Argan Gentle Eye Cream, and this is lovely because it is very rich, it's very moisturising, and I really like to pack in as much hydration to my skin overnight as possible so it can absorb it all while I'm asleep. And this isn't something that I'd necessarily use in the mornings just because I think it would probably make my concealer slide around a little bit, but it's lovely for using in the evening. So for moisturiser, I like to use a combination of two products, and the first one is the Kiehls Ultra Facial Cream, cream, and then I also like to use the Balance Me Radiance face oil, or any face oil. This is what I'm using at the moment, and I kind of mix them depending on what my skin is like that day. So if it's quite moisturised, if I haven't got any dry patches, I will just use the Kiehls. This is a nice cream because it is very rich and yet it sinks in quite quickly, but then if I find I've got a few dry patches, if my skin's looking a bit dehydrated, I'll add in a little bit of the face oil. This is really nice because it has a little roller ball, so you can really get precision application on any patches that you need it to be, or you can just put it onto your hand, which is what I tend to do sometimes, and then, you know, press it all over your face. So depending on how my skin feels, I'll add a little bit of that or maybe a lot of it, and just sort of work those two together to get the right balance for my skin. And those are all the products that I use together in the evening. So that's my entire skincare routine laid out for you. Again, if you haven't seen my morning routine, I will link it here for you somewhere, and it will probably change every so often, and I will try to keep you as updated as possible, either with a video on here or on my blog. But now, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all soon.